We called this retreat ReConnection because that's what healing is. Our primary trauma is actually the disconnection that we experience, and our healing is the path back to our wholeness.
It was so powerful and so amazing. The discussion, the community feel, it's so transformative for me.
We are finding more and more need to separate ourselves from our current daily activities and the narratives and stories that shape our lives right now, to take a true retreat from those stories that have us locked in this sense of scarcity, this sense of disconnect from one another, so that we can start to tell each other a new story of vibrant reconnection, of vitality in the face of toxicity. And in this 3-day retreat, we have the opportunity for each of us to realize the newness at every single story that we tell, so that we can co-create the new reality that we want to live within, that new reality that we all feel in our hearts is possible.
Zach is someone who sits at the interface of science and mysticism. He really has a heart-centered vision for where humanity could go and what the planet could look like if we reoriented our values away from maximizing yield, maximizing profit, and actually moved towards living in cohesion and harmony with our planet and with one another.
Most change comes through experience, and when you have a formative experience on things like a retreat with a group of people, you're never quite the same.
Retreats let you sit in the abundance of what's possible when all of the foundations are met. You have beautiful food, you have beautiful, secure environment, you have deep connection, you have meaning and purpose. You have the unknown and the co-creation that you're a part of. And retreats allow you to take an immersive approach to things and get outcomes you cannot get in any other setting.
So at Farmer's Footprint, we see ourselves as storytellers, but what sits behind that is necessity to bring back our food system into more from a transactional space to a relational one, and learn about what really is appropriate action for Australian food system right now that supports 7 generations into the future.
I believe very strongly in the trio soul, soil, society, and I think we begin with healing ourselves. We need to support our farmers and help our farmers to heal. And from that, I feel that that's how we do heal our society as well. Because it cannot be done without connection, recognition, truly seeing people, learning to understand them, support them, and appreciating.
Our connection to soil systems, i.e. the microbiome and its diversity, is where we come from. It is where our intelligence comes from, it's where our beauty comes from, it's where our capacity to see beauty comes from.
Understanding the microbiome, understanding the flow of our food system, and just looking at over 20 years of being in healthcare and watching what's happening, you're just watching kids getting sicker all the time, and people in a demographic between 12 and 40, and 56% of people are dependent on a medication in that age group. And for me, that's a massive failure of the system. And food plays such a vital role in that, and helping people understand that is why we're here.
This was kind of the litmus test, is how would it work and what would it look like, and now we're dreaming up a specific retreat for farmers.
Farming is always tough, and we don't, as farmers, and certainly the male farmers, aren't good at sort of stopping, reflecting and self-care. To get involved with people like Zach and Farmers Footprint Australia and learn from them and actually step out of our farms and just getting out of that environment. And we need to take time out. It's critical that this stuff gets out to the farming communities around Australia.
Farmers are the most isolated communities in Australia. We see farming communities being dismantled by corporate interests. So to offer something that acknowledges where farmers are at and assist them in coming back into reconnection with their true self, the byproduct of that is healthier food, healthier landscape function, and a happier, more vibrant farmer, farming family and farming community.
Healthy people naturally congregate to form healthy communities, and those healthy communities then constellate and come together to become the stewards of a healthy planet, and therefore that cycle of virtue continues itself.
Nature is our greatest business partner. We are, with nature, co-creating food, landscape, ecological function, and sanctuary for people.